Namaste, lovelies, and welcome to Tell You the Truth. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about energetic protection because I feel like it's a very needed thing right now at this time. And I have accumulated so many spiritual tools over the past, 9 years, essentially, to help out, to protect my energy, to protect myself from specific people, to protect myself from being too empathic and taking on somebody else's energy, as well as there's just so many ways that you can use any kind of protection, as well as like negative energy that comes from within you that you can actually let go of. So I'm going to talk to you about a couple techniques that I think are the best for energetic protection, as well as cleaning out your energy to make sure that it's nice and clean and crisp and clear, and also to clear atmosphere, to clear space. If there's a room that doesn't feel right, there's some tools that I have that you can use as well to help that room kind of settle and clear that yucky energy out and have the space full of peace once again. And so there's so many things that you can do. I mean, if you're actually like getting attacked by somebody, if you're actually in a confrontation with somebody, there's some really quick things that you can do. But let's get started. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments. I can totally answer pretty much all your questions. If not, I have some great spiritual teachers that have helped me along the way that I can put the links below too. So the first and easiest, to me, the first and easiest tool for protection is called grounding or earthing. So a spirit and energy is manipulated, and I don't want to say like manipulated, but it understands the language of images. So when you are doing something, you need to try and form an image in your mind of your body, or there's also feeling. So feeling and images. So if you can use your imagination for images and also the emotion that you're feeling of releasing, of letting go, and how that feels, like almost like when you're in a shower. So for grounding and breathing, I kind of do a flush where you can pretty much make sure that you're nice and solid on your ground, on the floor. If you can go out in nature, it's a lot more powerful out in nature. Or you can get some crystals or some kind of plants around you from the outside that will help you with your energetic space. But go ahead and close your eyes and breathe. And what I like to do when I breathe is I put my tongue at the very top of my mouth, the roof of my mouth, and I like to breathe in through my nose and then out. And as you're breathing out, if you can just focus on where that energy, when you breathe out, focus on that energy draining out of your body, draining out of your auric field. Now the auric field is about 2 feet, approximately on average person, it's about 2 feet in diameter. So if you can just drain out your energy field as well as all of the energy within inside you, and visualize a tube of some sort, any kind of tube that you want to connect with either your heart or your hips for your root chakra or your heart chakra, whichever one feels comfortable for you. And all of that energy will drain all the way down, and imagine the tube going all the way down to Mother Earth, all the way to the molten center. And that way she can transmute this energy and transform this energy and recycle it into something that is useful. Mother Earth is really good about doing that. So if you just and have that intention of all of that yucky energy that you're feeling going all the way down past the ground, into the ground, all the way to the center of Earth, and Mother Earth coming and taking that energy. And then if you breathe in the love from Mother Earth. Breathe in Gaia's love for you and connect with the earth. You can also do this when you get really good with the grounding. There is the cosmos, and you can connect to the universal energy as well. And then this is kind of a like a qigong kind of energy flow where you're connecting in with the cosmos and then bringing that love down to Mother Earth. And then you breathe in Mother Earth's love, and then you push it out into the cosmos, and you're like a vessel, and it's so beautiful, and I love it so much. So that is one way with visualizing, and you can either visualize like a third person visualization of yourself and maybe a sacred space that you choose. And I might be doing a video on sacred spaces as well if you don't have one in your imagination or whatnot. There's a plenty of meditations and videos as well that you can go to figure out your sacred spaces. I actually have many for different reasons. But I like to do my center of head sacred space for this particular, and a lot of the center of head is for protection spaces. So you can do 3D, or you can just feel the energy flowing out of you and then breathing in that love to replace it. And I've always heard with a lot of my spiritual teachers, and I found this to be true, that when you are done releasing all of that negative energy, you want to fill up with something, because there's like a emptiness. There's a void that needs to be filled. And so you want to fill that with love. You want to fill that with golden light. You want to fill that with white light. You want to fill that with some color that feels really comfortable with you. And you want it to be translucent or somehow clear. You don't want heavy colors filling in your body. Okay, so that is the first tool that you can use to protect yourself, and you can do this really easily. Like, I do this all the time at the grocery store if I'm in line and there's people that are kind of close to me and I don't really want to be a part of that. Like, I just ground my energy and I become a vessel, and so it helps a lot. The second tool that I want to talk to you guys about is becoming objective. And some people are really good at this, and some people have a hard time because they're so empathic and they're compassionate. But the second tool I feel like is really helpful in situations where you're kind of in it and you're feeling like that fire of anger or frustration, and somebody is kind of lashing out at you and you're getting triggered. So the best way when you become triggered is to kind of take yourself out of your body, in your imagination, take yourself out of your body and look at the conversation through a third-party perspective, like you're looking at the conversation, and get objective. Now, the thing with this objectivity is that you can kind of get neutral about the scenario and kind of be able to see where the other person is coming from. A lot of times, I'm going to say this probably a lot, hurt people want to hurt people because they want that emotion. They want them to feel the emotion and feel what they're going through. And so hurt people, which is super unfortunate, and hopefully we're getting away from all of that. But in the meantime, when you're in an argument with somebody, it's really good to become objective and see that person with compassion. See that person with like a Christ mind, and look at that person like that person even though in the moment, like, you're angry at them and you want to even punch them or whatever, take yourself out of the situation, look at their perspective, and then become compassionate. And you can come back into your body and understand that maybe now is not the right time because you're triggered and they're triggered, and maybe you guys find a different time to actually sit down and talk about the scenario instead of just lashing out and reacting. Okay, the third tool of protection that I have is that I really like to use actually when I am going to sleep, is I call on ascended masters, and I call on archangels. The angels and the ascended masters are amazing. And if you have a deity that you're really close with, like Mother Mary or Jesus or Buddha or Krishna, any of those beautiful beings, you can call on them for help. So I like to do this right before I go to bed as a protection. I say Archangel Michael. So I say, Archangel Michael, please protect me. And it makes me just feel solid. I also ground my bed. You can pretty much ground anything, not only your energy. I try not to ground other people because it's kind of a free will thing where they have free will. You don't want to mess with that and the karma and all that stuff. But you can ground objects. You are allowed to ground your own children or your pets and ground them out and ground that energy out. So I like to ground my bed and then call on Archangel Michael or Jesus to protect me while I go to bed. Number 4 for the protection tools are crystals. And I do love crystals, and I have some that are specifically made for protection. So labradorite, I have found, is a really beautiful crystal that will help with protection, getting that negative energy and just like transmuting it. And my other favorite protection crystal is black tourmaline. So black tourmaline it has these lines in them. And so if you have something like, let's say you feel in your gut, it's like really yucky, or you're having anxiety or something like that, you find where that anxiety is and you take one end and you put it, let's say I have anxiety in my throat. So then I put it in my throat where my throat's closing up, and then those lines are going to take that energy and release that energy, and just, it'll give you a nice calming sensation. It is absolutely beautiful, and I love it so much. And then you can ground out that energy and fill in with golden light, or love, or whatever you want to fill in with. So great tools. Also, any black crystals that I always like the raw crystals, but to use, but any black crystals, like there's hematite, there's even lava rock, all of these onyx, iron, anything like that that's like pretty solid will help you protect yourself and will really be able to flush out that negative energy. Number 5. All right, so number 5 is sage. All right, so number 5 is the protection of sage and vibration. So I use this to clear spaces when you are at your home and something is not right, or there's a corner that's like collecting dust or collecting stuff for some reason that you can't always, like for some reason that's the corner that always collects the garbage and you don't know why. I would say clean that corner out and sage it. Make sure to open a window. My favorite sage is, let's see if we can get it. My favorite sage is white sage. White sage, it really, I can feel there's like a purity to it. There really is like a good cleanse to the smoke. So what you want to do is take your sage and light it at about a 45-degree angle, and maybe put it under the smoke, or put it under the lighter for about 30 seconds or so. And while you're doing that, have the intention, like, I will be cleaning out this space. all of the negative energy will go. And then just remember to open a window so that it can move out. Another thing that's really good, if you feel like there's ghosts or spirits or something like that that are kind of like bugging you in your house, is music. So I mean, like, any kind of music is great, but I noticed shakers and rattles, shamans like to use that, as well as singing bowls. So singing bowls or tuning forks are a great way to tune your energy as well as the energy around you. Yeah, it's just so beautiful. Okay, now the sixth protection tool that I'm going to tell you about is called what I like to call the Decoy Rose, and I actually learned this from the Boulder Psychic Institute. I'll put a link in the description below. And this works really well when you're in an environment with lots of people, I feel like, and you, again, with the grocery store, if you feel like there's somebody putting energy on you, or there's just a lot of crazy energy going around, what you can do is go into the center of your head or a sacred space and see yourself and make a rose. Create a rose that's about the size of your body and put it on the edge of your auric field, which again is about 2 feet away in diameter. So, and make this rose as beautiful and as luscious as possible. And this is a decoy rose, and so when energy comes at you and energy is trying to mess with your vibe, this rose is going to suck up this energy that you don't want. And at the end of the event, or at the end of going to the grocery store, or whatever you're doing with lots of people there, you can, in your mind, explode this rose and let the energy go, and it will go back to its original owner. And then, of course, then you can just cleanse your energy and make sure that none actually got in, and fill up with golden light. You can pretend there's a sun above your head, like Boulder Psychic Institute told me this as well. And they do have free classes. So the first class is free, and you'll get to learn about some of the tools. All right, so that's number 6. Number 7 is the best for really hardcore negative energy that you just can't abide. So this is my go-to for, I guess we'll call it like really scary stuff, or really hardcore stuff that is very triggering. So what you can do is you go into your headspace or into your sacred space, and you imagine connecting with your God. Now, when I say God, it's Supreme Being, it's our Creator. Whoever you think is the creator of the universe, connect with God and ask to be cleansed. And what will happen is you will feel a rush of divine light and love, and it will be flowing over you like a shower, and water falling all around you. And it is so cleansing. Now, I have noticed, you can do this, but I have noticed that sometimes I'm in such a low vibe that I can't even fathom, like, going to God. Like, I feel worthless, I feel horrible about myself. I've been super triggered, and I'm in that like fetal position. When that happens, you can always ask for a stepping stone. You can always ask for your spirit guides to help, your ancestors to help. You can ask for the Archangels, for the Ascended Masters to help, and they will help you connect with our source, our true Supreme Being. So those are the 7 tools that I know work for me when it comes to protection, energetic protection. So number 1, grounding and breathing and just fleshing out all of that energy. Number 2, become objective with compassion. Number 3, call upon the Ascended Masters or the Archangels, whatever you feel comfortable with, to help get you to cut some cords and really help you, even your spirit guides, anybody that's for the highest and best. Number 4 is crystals. So use crystals if you have some stuck energy that you want to let go of. Number 5, sage and vibration. So vibration meaning singing bowls or tuning forks. Anything that feels really good. Like I even have a harmonium that sometimes I'll just drone on, and I love the sound of the harmonium. Or I'll use my drum, my frame drum. Anything that works to really clear out that energy. Number 6 is the Decoy Rose. And I'll put, like I said, I'll put a link to the Boulder Psychic Institute if you want that free class. They always have one free class that you can go to kind of get a feel for it, to see if you want to like maybe up your psychic ability game. I mean, everybody's psychic for real. So you just have to connect with that part of you. And number 7 is asking straight to God, going straight to the source and having that cleanse and just being in love and being in light and holding that gratitude and that peace and that just amazing, overwhelming energy that almost doesn't even have an English word that I can say. So these are the 7 tools, the 7 protection tools that I wanted to share with you guys, because I know it's rough out there, and I know we all are going through our own heads and our own minds, and then we have outside stuff going on. So I just wanted to give back, and I really hope that you guys utilize these tools, or you can comment down below if you found a tool that really, really helps you as well. Namaste. So many blessings to you on your journey. I love and support and appreciate you so much. Thank you.